very super minor difference is you just wait until this wave is dead, and then you do this. Because if you notice, like, we're missing the creeps, we're running over, and then Silencer and OD are not actually in position to help you here. So the best you're going to get is a 1v1 for a few seconds. So you run up here and you find him, and then you immediately have to back off. So we would just condense this entire play into, I get the creeps, Silencer is closer, then I walk over, and there is no, like, I have to kite backwards, I just run straight at him. Alright guys, welcome back. This is week 26 of weekly coaching, and last week the homework was to work on gathering info consistently and aim to look for at least one check of a different area of the map per minute. And the student says they've been having a lot of trouble with games just feeling like unwinnable, and it's hard to get people coordinated together, and also like wondering like what they're not doing that a higher ranked player would be doing. So the questions this time are, how do we get our team to play together? Was I in the wrong place on the map? And what could we have done to capitalize on our lead? Because in this game, he's playing Night Stalker, and I think, yeah, at one point he was highest net worth here, so maybe there was something we could have done differently. So Dookie, what's MMR this time?
2406.
2406. So we're up from last week. Nice. First thing right away I'm going to say is you don't have a BKB and you're versus Grimstroke Lion. So that's something to change in there.
Yeah.
they have lockdown that you can counter with like a Lincoln's or a BKB or something. That would be a nice thing to add in there.
I think that was one thing I did think about. Well, let me see. What did my items end up being?
It's kind of all offense items.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're going to be looking at how much info you're gathering as well. That didn't go away. That's still a thing.
Yeah. Would you share the screen?
Yes. God damn it. We were just talking for so long that I completely forget about it. There you go.
No worries.
My bad. Okay, so while this is running here, what is your read on the team comp for both sides? First off, let's talk about the lane. So what do you think you're laning against?
I thought I was going to lane against Ursa Grim.
Okay. And then another question is, would that be the worst thing for you? Like, would you rather lane against a Lion or a Grimstroke?
I think Lion, they sort of similarly do, like, they're sort of similar, but like I think Grimstroke can harass more easily from longer range. Like enables Ursa a little more with his stun than Lion does because it literally speeds him up.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Grimstroke's a lot scarier there.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing to be thinking about, like when do you think you'll actually be able to kill this Ursa, or is that even an option? You know what I mean? Like, is this lane like quote unquote winnable where you could just like blow him out, you know?
I think it's kind of hard. I think it would have to come from Silencer bringing him down enough. Basically, we'd have to like surprise nuke him. So he'd have to bring him down. He'd have to be confident enough to come up with me on like with Fury swipes, and then I just nuke him, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" and then we kill him as he runs. But
Maybe,
other than that, it's probably like I knew that I like didn't want to like be in his face. Like he's much stronger than me early.
Yeah, he is stronger than you early. So what are your what's your power spike on Night Stalker?
Probably like just once around like nighttime hits.
Yeah,
Should have like a few levels into his E.
Yeah, basically like level 5, level 6, nighttime. That's when you're the strongest, right?
Yeah.
So it would be playing for that timing. And when I'm laning against Night Stalker a lot, I just noticed that like he's actually just super passive for a lot of it. He's not going for kills at all until that timing hits, and then he's just like all in.
Yeah.
So might be something to think about. And I don't think Silencer needs to like help you all in. Like if Silencer is just harassing a lot, like that can be good too. This certainly is not helping you. I guess he traded. That's fine. I did notice a few instances where like you missed rain creeps, which doesn't sound like much, but it does add up.
No, for sure.
So it's, I guess that'd be the first thing. So talking about like, you know, like what would a higher ranked player be doing? Like, would they be trying to secure every range creep like that one there?
Right.
Like the Silencer having to get that one. Like the range creep's more important than the melee creep. So that would be one thing there. Okay, I like that you didn't chase too far, just back to the creeps. Good. Decking. Okay, I saw 3 checks. Sweet. I think that's fine. I think also boots are high priority in this type of a lane.
Yeah.
And you've been harassing him with Q, and I did lead to a kill, so that's fine. I was gonna say you might want to save some mana for when you can all in him, because like this is your power spike right now.
Yeah.
And you don't have any mana left. It's okay because you just killed him, but normally this would be like, okay, I want to be able to go right now. It's nighttime, you know.
Right.
And I think another thing I would change is maybe dropping an entire bracer to get your phase boots done faster.
Okay.
Because you're not a farming hero. It's not like you're sitting here like contesting last hits. Like this lane is this is a kill lane either way, right? Either Ursa's is going to kill you or you're going to kill him, and that's kind of it. We're not going to passive farm against each other, and that's normally what like Bracer, Null Talisman, Wraith Band, that's what those are for.
Yeah.
This obviously makes you tankier, and that's great and everything, but move speed is more important than, you know, +3 damage. In these instances also where you're completely out of mana, it's worth buying Clarities over Mangoes, because it's just going to take you too long to regen, and now you're just kind of out of the fight for a long time right now.
Yeah.
Because you have 4, so you're still missing 200 mana, see what I'm talking about? Let's like buy a couple Clarities to help with that. Or get the Sage's Mask from Echo Saber earlier. And then also on these types of heroes, the salves are going to be helpful because your style is going to be much more all in. So it's going to be like, we're going to take a big fight, I'm going to lose a bunch of health, and then I'm going to heal up a salve, as opposed to casual harass with, and then healing with tangos. I'm going to check real quick. Okay, so we need to look at around 20 minutes. That's where things start going downhill as well. Still need to be checking more. Checking around the map more. And in particular, like in these instances, this is where you want to be looking around more because you're safe right now. So it's nighttime, which means, okay, it's nighttime and you have phase boots and you have your ultimate. So this means like I'm ready to be in playmaking mode right now. This wave is great and this is safe farm, but like I'm not the type of hero that's content with just safe farming.
Yeah.
Right? This is just gold. It's not the enemy's gold. So like right now, like where do you think like a play is gonna happen? Like if the enemy team was gonna do anything or present themselves where I could go kill them, like where do you think it would be?
Mid.
Mid, or maybe on this Venge, right?
Yeah.
It's way out there. And so this is where, I'm not saying you have to be in mid, but you need to be checking here and kind of looking every now and then, like, are they gonna go on him? Are they gonna go on him? And just be ready to like TP in and like counterattack this shit. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's where the information comes in, because it's like you do have a power spike right now. See, I think plays like this too. So these are kind of awkward. I mean, it's going to result in him dying there, but if you just notice that the execution of this, like I like that you're killing him while he's greedily farming your triangle, but just look at the execution of it, right? So like what would BSJ say about this execution? Let's watch it through real quick. What would BSJ say about this? These creeps dying right here, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you just imagine the very super minor difference is you just wait until this wave is dead, and then you do this. Because if you notice, like, we're missing the creeps, we're running over, and then Silencer and OD are not actually in position to help you here. So the best you're going to get is a 1v1 for a few seconds. So you run up here and you find him, and then you immediately have to back off. So we would just condense this entire play into, I get the creeps, Silencer is closer, then I walk over, and there is no, like, I have to kite backwards, I just run straight at him.
Yeah.
You see that very minor difference there?
Yeah. Was Silencer already walking up there?
Let's see. Silencer is bid right now, probably because OD is in a scary place, so he's thinking about OD. So this would be an afterthought. This would be... So what you're doing here is sort of forcing it a little bit, like I was talking about. Like, yes, this Ursa should die for what he's doing, but also you have a creep wave in your face. And so, like,
Right.
eat this creep wave and think about Silencer's not actually in position to help you yet.
Yeah.
But then if you just wait like a couple seconds, like it just creeps, you know, boop, 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 and then we start running over now, right? We would connect with Silencer at about the same time. We kill him anyway, which is great.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then, so what next? So like, what would a high rank player be thinking about right now?
Well, I'm in ult form. I have more damage. I might as well take advantage of that. And like, if I can't connect to like another kill or another fight, then I need to like take farm that I can take faster than normal.
Yeah, that's one aspect of it. And then what else is happening on the map right now?
Bottom is getting jumped.
Yeah. So first off, I just want to check to see if you looked at it. So we didn't even look. So that's, you know, that's okay. We're still learning it. But this would be an instance where it's like, okay, if I was managing my mana a little bit better, and I was paying attention to what was going on the map, then what I could do, theoretically, is come kill this dumb Ursa in my triangle, regen up to full mana because I have clarities or mangoes ready to go or whatever, and then immediately TP here in ult form and kill this axe.
Yeah.
Like high tempo. And that's... You can't play like that unless you're being efficient, which means, like, I'm constantly sending the courier to myself and buying regen. Like, you have 1,200 gold sitting here right now. So, like, that gold would already be... I mean, not all of it, because you just got gold off of killing Ursa. But a lot of that gold would already be spent working on the next item. You would have enough mana, and you'd be ready to, like, TP down here. And if that was actually impossible, then you would tell your team, like, I can't show up, I have no mana. And then you would go up here and farm, right? But if you've done all those things, like you had mana ready, you had your TP skull ready, you're in ult form, then it would be next step, go kill Axe.
Yeah.
And that's like the playing faster. That's what a higher ranked player would be doing right now. Okay, so let's see what you do with it. And, you know, your ult's not lasting that long, but that can play a factor too. Like, if you know your ult's about to end, then okay, maybe you don't do it, but like still, right?
Yeah.
So it's just really like now you spent the gold, right? So it's just like just being faster about this type of stuff is really it. Because otherwise, it's like you're doing the correct thing, and then you're just doing it a little bit too slow. And then also here, so like this is an awkward spot. So I don't think I would TP for this. I think what I would do here is I'd finish this wave right in front of me, and then I would TP here. Because you're gonna lose creeps either way. But like these are right here. And so theoretically you could get all of these, or at least most of them, and then TP here.
Yeah, I think this was like a case of like overcorrection because I've been playing games where we just let mid tower die for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm not gonna let that happen this game. But I agree.
Yeah.
There's no reason I couldn't have done both.
Right. And it's I think like trading a little bit of damage on the tower for several last hits on yourself is more of that like Smurf mindset.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about the tower having an extra 200 health from the siege creep hitting it, because the game's not going to be down to the wire anyway. Either this tower is going to die or it's not. But like, you know, 200 gold on me, or whatever the hell these creeps are worth, I guess like 150, 200, means I get my item faster and I can go kill something. Like, that's kind of how a Smurf would be thinking about it a little bit, if they had a creep wave in their face like this. Otherwise, I think this is great. Like, okay, there's a catapult on mid, I need to react to it. That's perfect, that's what you should be doing. It's just like, wait a couple seconds on it. The other, like, a little bit of an issue with it as well is that, like, I'm harping on this a lot, and it might not be fair to be, but just the way I'm thinking about it in my, you know, God mode spectator thing, is that it's like Ursa now knows you're not here, and then Ursa's just going to hit your tower anyway.
Right.
And, like, I don't know, you could be assuming that one of your supports could TP here and do this for you, or maybe OD can TP back here instead of farming a jungle camp. Like, honestly, like, here's the problem, right? This is not your job to do this. Like, OD should do it. OD has TP and he has mana. He should be over here doing this, but he's not doing it actively. But you kind of also need to, like, give him a chance to do it as well. Because, like, think of it this way, like, like, if you were a super selfish core, right? Why does it keep focusing on that? Go over here. You're a core with a creep wave under your tower in front of you, and you're not looking to fight because you don't have ult. Like, yeah, you should farm this. This is someone else's job. Like, the supports, go clear this up, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're doing the correct thing, but you're taking on a little bit too much. It's kind of like whenever I coach my girlfriend, she ends up buying too many sentries and wards when she's playing Bristleback off lane, and I'm like, you need to get out of the habit of trying to, like, do everything. Like, stop trying to, like, do the support's job and do your job while you're, like, learning the game. Because she's definitely, like, learning the game, right? But she kind of does the same thing. Like, oh, we need wards. And then she'll go spend, like, 500 gold on sentries throughout the whole game. You're like, wow, why am I falling behind? Well, because you're not playing like a core, right? I think this is okay. Like, just the fact that you notice the creep, or the whatever the hell, the catapult, and you rotated to it is fine. But it's just this minor inefficiency. Get the wave and then do it, and preferably someone else does this, and also maybe give them a chance to actually do it, because maybe you just noticed it a second before OD, and OD's like, oh shit, catapult, and gets over here in time. And maybe he doesn't at all, and your tower goes down, and that sucks. But, like, you can't play all the lanes, right?
Yeah.
You do have to be a little bit selfish to an extent. It's kind of an unsolvable problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's probably not fair of me to be harping on it that much, but it's just something that stands out to me, because you basically trade the mid tower for this tower, and probably the mid tower wouldn't have even died because the wave was walking up on it anyway. Cool, I like it. Instantly spend our gold, hooray! Thinking about next thing to farm, I like that too. I also like that you're not showing here during the tower push, because it means you could, like, swoop in if someone shows up and looking around. That's good. I'm not a super fan of that movement either. Simply because it's like, well, you're already in an area. You kind of need to wait. Like, what do you need to get active again, right? You probably need it to be nighttime, or you need your ultimate, and you need TP scroll. So you kind of just gotta wait for that a little bit, and you can just hang in this area and, like, farm a little bit until that's the case. Because now, like, if you stay up here, like, let's wait till everybody leaves. So, like, I mean, we know that Bloodseeker and Benj are gonna leave in a minute. They're still here, but you could stay up here, farm this camp, wait for this to respawn, farm these camps. You know, like, occupy the area, because this tower's already dead. That someone else can go catch the wave afterwards. So the only other things to really be doing right now, because this is unsavable now, is to be bottom fighting, but you have no TP and no ult, so that's okay. It's not really an option. But just, like, stay up here, you know, farm this. Because then you're walking, this is, like, from an efficiency perspective, this is not good for you. Like, you're spending a lot of time just running. And you can't even, like, fight here if you wanted to. So it's like you could have gotten the same farm top, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit. Because like, what's the difference between the top creep wave and the mid creep wave? Like from a gold perspective, nothing. Like the mid wave is more important, sure, but. Yeah, see, and then if you hadn't rotate out, like maybe this tower doesn't die because you're still in the area.
Yeah.
Instead of having to rotate mid and then walk back up top, walking back and forth all the time, minimize that a little bit. So
Yeah.
like a higher ranked player would be looking at it like, where do I want to be? Where do I need to be? Where can I be? And I'm gonna go be in that area.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try and not let things pull me away from that area, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. By the way, so like when that happens, do you take note of that stuff?
What stuff?
Shadow Fiend pausing right after you kill Ursa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's telling you that the SF is flaming the shit out of this Ursa, right? So, like, if we want to abuse that, we would go make the Ursa misplay and kill him over and over again, and then we go gank SF and make him tilt. Like,
yeah.
like whenever that shit happens, dude, I'm like, tip this guy. Like, just if they're gonna be toxic and like throw their own game, like lean on it. You know what I mean? Like, get them to like do it even harder.
I agree.
I'll even like sometimes I'll queue in and I'll get the same guy on my team twice in a row, and he was like a complete douchebag that tilted out. And let's say he's on the other team, I'll be like, "Oh, dude, we can totally lean on yellow. He'll tilt out, delete his items."
Yeah.
So it's like any little dirty trick you can
Yeah.
do, right?
No, I agree.
All right, let's double check these real quick.
I also got into this habit of I noticed that Ursa had Shadow Blade.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at my inventory.
Yeah, you got that dust. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Very good. Cool. I think not totally forcing it is fine.
Yeah, I could have stayed in here. One thing I didn't realize is you can use his shard on your creeps.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know.
So
that
I
either.
could have regened earlier and probably, I don't know if it would have resulted in anything, but I could have positioned more aggressively.
I like that. That's good. I think also I would be. I think I would go BKB before Blink
Yeah.
here. Blink is nice on Night Stalker, but not actually required because of just how his ultimate works. Like being able to like fly over trees and stuff like that. It's just not as super necessary to have gap close on him because he has a lot of move speed, right?
Yeah. I agree. I think in this game, like, Blink makes more sense when it's like, you know, you gotta jump on like a somebody who will escape if they see you.
Yeah.
Whereas
like
like that's not, that is none of these heroes really. Like at the most at risk I am of if I walk up that they use a spell, and in that case BKB is better.
Yep, I think that's a pretty good way to read it, right? It's not like you're trying to gank like a Weaver or an AM or I don't know, a PA or something. Like you're ganking static heroes, and you'd be buying the Blink not really to initiate on an Ursa, but to initiate on like Lion and Curbstroke anyway, right? Because if you want to fight Ursa, you just buy stats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you. I don't really know how you guys lost this game. It kind of looks like it's super easy right now.
Yeah.
We will find out. Okay. I think that TP is fine because there's the catapult and the double wave and your ult's about to end. But if we weren't in that exact situation, it'd be really cool if you guys took their Tormentor and then farmed all this crap.
Yeah.
But in that instance, I think the TP's good. Okay. What do we got? 24 minutes. So what's that Bloodseeker talking about? Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, one thing I can tell you that didn't help is our team started flaming the shit out of Bloodseeker. And I'm like, I'm like, clearly this guy does not know what he's doing, because I think he was like aiming to like build a late Vanguard or something. I'm like, they started flaming him for that. I'm like, don't like. There's no point in flaming him. Just tell him what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Clearly, he does
Yeah.
not know.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's pretty much the most you can do there. Just be like, don't worry, buddy. It's fine. Just try and, like, you know, be PMA, right?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know if there's really much you could do about that. Let's see. So the only thing you can do about this is that you know that you just showed on top wave, and they just showed in your triangle. Let's run it back at 1x speed. So we're gonna go into like sensor sonar vision, right? They're actively in your triangle. You see that? And you know you're showing. Okay, you see SF. Boom. Okay, so this means if the enemy team is on top of it, they're gonna do a movement like they did, and they might smoke for it to catch you in the back.
Yeah.
Because your average low rank player would kind of do this. Like most people, what they do when they don't feel safe is they walk back to base, right? But you don't need to. You can just go this way or go this way, right? And then they gotta chase you out of the triangle to go get you. They don't get the freebie. So this would be just a case of like not. I don't know if you noticed or just didn't think about it, but like you see them behind you on the map. So that's
I think
not an option
this is a
if they do the
case.
right thing.
I think this is a case of me like not like one of the instances of me just not checking the map when I should have, because I think in this situation I had fucking no clue this was coming. I was like, did they have a ward or something? Like I have no idea why this happened.
Well, I didn't like even after as it happened. I'm like, whoa, did they smoke into him? But then I just went back a little bit and saw that they were in the triangle.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just paying attention to that. Should also be a little bit hesitant right now because 3 people are dead, right? So like a good team is gonna try and get more out of it while you're dead. So you should be kind of thinking in terms of like, oh, duck and weave right now, you know?
Right.
So I think even showing on this wave is like potentially dangerous, but you have time right now. That's fine. So we would want to just clear this as fast as possible. And I'm like staring at the mini-map right now. Like I don't need to look at these creeps, you know? Yeah, I think they just smoked into you. You just saw the lion walking towards you. Yep. So they gave you a warning.
Yeah.
They showed. It's just that you didn't catch it. I mean, sometimes you'll play against people that are really good and they don't give you any warning at all. You just have no idea. And their smoke ganks are so good that you think they're like map hacking. Like, how the hell? Right?
Yeah.
But it turns out the guy like smoked into your jungle and placed a ward 4 minutes ago. Right? It's just like these crazy plays. So yeah, in there, that one was avoidable. You would just run up instead. Or run to the right.
Yeah.
Or even just kite over here and just sit in the trees a little bit, wait for them to show again. And then it kind of cascades, right?
Yeah.
Is the kind of the problem with this. Like your team chose to do that for sure. I just want to show you like what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
So your team's reacting to this, but let's see. OD might react. But they're reacting to this going on. They're getting here a little bit too late. Start a new team fight without you in it. Kind of not the worst. It's 2 for 2. It's actually a completely even trade because it's a 1-1 and 3-3, right? Okay, now it's not even anymore. So, alright. So, yeah, it's not the worst death ever. Like, this one was avoidable, and then they chose to push a little bit too far, so that's not on you. What I was going to say is, like, maybe sometimes in these instances where it's, like this happens a lot if we play with, like, lower ranked people, is, like, okay, I'm the highest MMR, so like I gotta make all the perfect decisions and everything like that. And if I fuck up once, the game's over. And sometimes that can happen where it's like, if you were a Smurf or something, like, oh no, they got me, and the game's just over, right? Because it's just you were the whole team. I think in this instance that doesn't apply as much. It's more just your team went a little bit too far there. All right, So, were we looking at around at all while we were dead? What I want to look. Oh yeah, this was all from your player view, so that's perfect. This whole thing was your player view. So you're watching this whole fight. Again, I can't see if you're actually checking items, which is a bummer, but yeah, this is good. I like this. And how often do you look at the mini-map as well?
See, that's the hard thing, is that's like I'm trying to like split between that and then like, oh, it's not enough to look at the mini map, gotta check somewhere else, you know what I mean? I think I'm trying to like use that concept that we use from Beastmaster, where it's like it's a lot easier to micro stuff if you have like one big action and then you're microing something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm kind of like, you know, have the one big action, me walking up this lane, and then look at the map the whole time.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Know?
I think I habitually look at the mini-map maybe every 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. It might be more because I play support, but I'm looking at the mini-map like constantly. So that could be another aspect to it, is just like your information gathering. Like maybe you're just not looking at the mini-map enough and looking at the time enough. I know it took me a lot of practice to like look at the clock constantly, and it actually screws with me now. Like it'll be like 6:55 p.m. or something, and I'll be like, shit, wisdom rune's coming up. Oh wait, it's real life. Like, like it'll actually like the times get like locked in, right?
Yeah.
So just I don't really know how to. There's a good video on that actually I could show you, where it's all about like building the habit of like, you know, look at the clock, look at the mini map, look at your hero, look at the clock, look at the wave, look at like just like building that like eye routine.
Yeah.
I don't know how to teach that exactly without being like, without saying things like, I want you to check other lanes like at least once a minute. Like I don't know how to like retrain your eyes, you know, but yeah, that's something. So if you feel like you're not looking at the mini map like kind of constantly, that could be part of it. How could we implement that as well? Because I am noticing you looking around a lot more than you were before, which is really good. It could be just something like, you know, while you're jungling, you could be looking around.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't see in the replay if you're looking at the mini-map. You don't have an eye tracker.
Yeah, I think it's also like a weird balance of like efficiently. It's a little bit less so for Night Stalker because you don't really want to be using too much mana, but sometimes it can be like a weird balance of like using your spells efficiently to farm and then also like looking at the mini map and looking around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's the thing is like the game is so fast, like you can be doing multiple things at once, right? So you can cast Q on this and look at this, you know, or look away and then just right click. Like, so some actions you can combine together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they got Roche. Did you record the Roche time?
No.
Yeah,
No, that's
gonna be another thing then.
Yeah.
Recording.
I did
Roche
do
times.
that in another game.
Okay.
At least the time that it happened. The doing the math on all the other stuff is a little like, it's not hard at all. Like if I just like sat down and did it, but it's like it would take. I'd have to like sit there and think about it for like probably like 20 seconds, and I feel so pressured in a game that I'm like, all right, well, at least I got the first time down.
Okay. Well, all right. We're gonna tack that onto the homework a little bit then. So all you gotta do, like when Roche goes down. So let's see where the hell did it go down. Boom. Okay. So I have it on my ping wheel, current time, but you can also alt click the time to do it. And it's literally just all I do. I type the time in, and then you add 5 minutes. This is what I do. Add 5 minutes. You don't have to type the seconds, because typing the whole thing out every single time like this is a lot of actions.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to do it like that, and it screws me up. Really, all you need to do is you need to know the time it died and the second, and then you just add 5 minutes, add 3 minutes, add 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's it, because that's.
I think
Aegis lasts 5 minutes, and then Roche can respawn from 8 to 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just do Control A, Control C, and then you can just like paste it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could,
Yeah, I think I just need to remember like 5-3-3.
Yeah, basically 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And some people don't even record it in that way. They just record, like, even like immortal
Yeah.
players, like they just get the starting time and then they do the math themselves. But
Yeah.
I find that it's sort of something I learned a little bit from watching like PPD play. Because PPD will get all those times and then he'll remind his team ahead of time, like, hey guys, Roche is coming up in 2 minutes. Hey guys, Roche in 3 minutes. Aegis expires 1 minute. Like he'll let them know before it's happened that it's coming up.
Yeah.
And PPD's a 5-player, right? So
Yeah.
I don't expect everybody to do that, but like if you can do that, that becomes like a massive advantage, because when you do get in the team in the games where like everybody's coordinated, like having that time of like, okay, Roche is respawning exactly now and we're in position for it, like that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about that TP. I'm a bit curious about it, because you got forced out. They kind of already have a wave. The complete poggers thing to do here, by the way, would be to cut the wave. Because you have to assume your team can kind of deal with this one wave.
Yeah.
So, like, grabbing the next one and farming it or dragging it, that could be good. But also, if you're worried about your ult timing, then maybe that's not as much of a thing. I mean, it resulted in a kill. It's fine. But it's kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever, like, TP'd, like, ran out of a fight and then TP'd back into it. That's kind of an edge case, I think. But maybe in other games, look for opportunities like that, where, like, okay, we don't want to, like, let's say we don't want to fight them and they're pushing us, like, try and cut their wave, you know? That can be pretty space-makey. But anyway, okay. Let's see if there's anything else here. Because at this point, the lead is swung a little bit. I still think this game is definitely winnable. So at this phase of the game, it's going to come down to basically not making a dumb mistake. But, like, not walking in somewhere without your whole team, or maybe throwing a Roche fight or whatever. We'll see if we can find anything quickly. Yeah, you need BKB super bad, I think.
Yeah. I think that is like one of like the biggest mistakes of this game.
I like this split pushing. This is good. Keep doing it though. Just keep going. And then, you know, TP back like when you have to. Yeah, because the problem is here, like when you jump in like this, like you're not invincible, right? And you want to be invincible. Like, the fact that, like, Lion has gotten out of your silence cone is kind of a problem. Because now you have to be like, shit, he could stun me, you know, and you gotta not... Oh, sick swap, though.
Yeah.
That's gonna help enormously, just buying the BKB here. I think the Blink is okay, you don't need it. I think the Halberd is... Oh, it's okay, it's a little bit too defensive. I think, like, Harpoon, Blink, BKB, and then Basher would be, like, the ultimate, like, I'm gonna go kill people move, right?
Yeah.
But I like the idea of the halberd because it is good against SF and Ursa. It's just that your role here as a Night Stalker is kind of the assassin, not so much the tanky utility guy. So you need to be thinking about this guy more like you're playing a Legion Commander than you're playing like a Sand King.
Yeah.
So items that help me kill people in a short time, you know? And halberd doesn't necessarily help you do that specifically, but it's mostly a defensive item.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. So, okay, let's go over our stuff here. So, how do we get our team to play together? You felt like that was an issue in this game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, first off, I would say start by owning your lane. first one, right? Like start out with a big lead so you look like the big strong Night Stalker and everyone's like, I'm gonna listen to you, Daddy Night Stalker, right? Second one is the PMA thing, which sounds like you're already doing. Like they flamed your Bloodseeker and you gotta be like, no, don't flame. He's fine, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That could be another thing too. But also, talking about things ahead of time, like planting the seed, you know what I mean? So being like, hey guys, like let's say in the first 5 minutes, can you guys come play with me when nighttime happens? Like prep for nighttime. I'm strong at nighttime. Let's do stuff. Just things like that. So prepare plays ahead of time. Also, another thing I do, I think eventually I need to make an entire video about this because communication's massive, right? But another thing I do is I ask people rather than like tell them. I used to just tell people like, hey, come top. Hey, go Roche. But now what I do is I ask people like, hey, do we have the damage for Roche? Or, hey, do you think we should Roche now? Or, hey, whatever. And it's ultimately my idea because I'm the one initiating it, but I'm asking it as a question, which means two things. If I'm wrong, well, now it's a team-wide mistake, so that's nice. That feels good. But also, like, maybe there's a bit of information I don't have that someone else does. Yeah. And that happens a lot with Roche, where I don't know exactly, like, can this core do Roche in an efficient amount of time? And sometimes that'll happen. I'll be like, hey, do we have the damage for Roche? And they'll be like, no, not yet. I need Deso. And we're like, okay, let's push tower then. Real simple, right? So ask your team for input.
Yeah.
Suggest things, you know? Like direct with questions. In a way that works for me. Might not for you, but that works for me. Was I in the wrong place on the map? So I'd say there was inefficient rotations.
Yeah.
That sort of made you bounce back and forth a lot, and we want to try and avoid that. So I think that was a little bit. Other than that, though, no, I didn't really see it. Like it was kind of like you were fighting with your ult up, and that was fine. So I think it was just like when you were bouncing back and forth between top and mid. And then what could we have done to capitalize on our lead? I think BKB would have helped enormously with that. And then I think also like, that might have just been enough. BKB, Basher, not Halberd, but also like just getting your team to like play together and stuff like that would have been good. Like maybe like trying to force an objective somewhere. Like, you know, you win a big fight. Okay, let's run it at tier 2. Let's run it Roche, whatever. Like doing those types of things. So I think those instances would have been like after we win a fight, what can we now do? And that's basically, other than that, I think it's just like the itemization. Then I think that's pretty much it. We talked about a lot of different stuff this time around, so I hope that answers everything.
I definitely, I do feel good about those things. Like, I definitely see what I could have done to make a difference, especially the BKB for sure. I felt in the game. Like that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely got to add BKB here, right?
Yeah.
And it's specifically because they have stuns is the problem there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're forced to play it the way you did, where you have to blink on Lion and Grimstroke and cut them down. Where it's like if you add the BKB in and you don't have to do that anymore. Like now you can just jump on SF and just BKB and what are they gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, I think you wanna call it there then, or any other questions that I can get?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Okay, for sure, dude. So let's look at next steps then. So next steps. So this info gathering, we're just gonna summarize it here. Gathering infos constantly. Check minimap constantly as well. I did see a big improvement in this and looking around. That was really good. Keep working on that. And then I think let's also try playing more selfishly.
Yeah.
Let's try that out because I think that may be that could help out a little bit more. If you're just prioritizing your own farm and your own levels in place, it just makes sense for you all the time. That could help a lot. Because that'll be the homework. All right. Sound good?
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Well, call it here, and I will catch you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure, man. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I do feel good. Like, I do feel like we're getting somewhere.
Good. Glad to hear it. Actually, somebody said that in a comment. I was really happy with it. They're like,
yeah.
It's so nice to see him improving, and the student teacher relationship's like really wholesome. I'm like, that's fucking sweet. That's like
sick.
the best comment ever. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fuck
definitely.
yeah.
People are noticing, which is good.
Sick. That's awesome.
All right.
All right. I'll see you next week, brother.
All right. Have a good one, man.
All right. Peace.
All right. And if that was helpful, don't forget to check out the playlist at the end of the video. I record these on Twitch every weekday. Usually it's supposed to be Monday. We do Tuesdays sometimes. But I start at like 2:30 p.m. PST onwards. So I hope to see you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.